Hi,
What's up, Chijini Des?
how are you?
I'm fine. How you doing?
Good, good. Thank you so much for taking the
Should
time
be
to do
afternoon there in
this.
Los Angeles, right?
What?
It should be afternoon there in Los Angeles, right?
Yes, I'm on the East Coast now, so I'm not in LA, but it is 12 o'clock. It's noon.
Wow, wow, that's good. So, good afternoon, Chijini Des.
Thank you.
All right. Can you you are a pioneer of go-getter, right? If I'm right.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, can you just introduce yourself, introduce your content to us, and let's know what go-getter is all about?
Totally, totally. So a go-getter is someone who has a goal and who wants to go get that goal, and it's pretty simple. I'm going to type this as I go, but a go-getter is someone who has a goal and wants to go get that goal. And ultimately, I started this brand because, I wanted to see some motivation in the media, and it's as simple as that, because right now in the media, there's just not that many people. Oh gosh, oh go getter, go getter. Go getter is an English language word, okay? Go
Yeah.
getter is an English language word. It means someone who has a goal, who wants to go get that goal, and you're lacking motivation. You're not sure. You feel lost. You feel not confident, and so that's my job, to create a media platform to motivate go-getters to go get their goals using my content.
Hmm. That's really great. That's really great.
Yes.
All right. You know what has been challenging as a go-getter, pioneer, as a motivational speaker, telling people to
Yes.
do something in life. What are the challenges that we face? What are the challenges that we face?
Yeah, there were a lot of challenges for sure, right? I mean, I think you talked about a couple of them already. Hey, William. Hey, Anmol. You talked about racism. You talked about structural barriers. You talked about lack of access to capital. And you talked about those challenges as Nigerian challenges, but actually, those are global challenges.
Yes.
So it's not just in your country, and you're seeing everything that's happening in America now. It's pretty bad,
Hmm.
everything that's going on. So hey, Anmol, yeah. So those challenges are global. And then for women, it's access to capital, it's access to just also like sales. Like when you create a product and you sell it, right, to make money, there's a lot of people still who are kind of uncomfortable buying from women, and they don't want to buy, they don't want to pay you, they don't want to. So there's a lot of challenges. Hey, Amit. Hey, Amit. Yeah. So there's a lot of challenges to being a go getter, to being an entrepreneur. Hey, everybody who's joining. You're all go getters. So I think that, yeah, there's a lot of challenges. Oh,
Hmm.
thank you, Darshan. Yeah. So there's a lot of challenges, man. And it's not easy, but I just want to say that it's a mindset, more than anything. Being a go-getter is a mindset. And it's this idea that I am going to go get my goals no matter what happens.
Teenagers, a lot of people have ideas, they have creative thinking, they have a lot of things in their head, but they don't have access to fund, they don't have access to people that can connect them. So how
Yes.
can these kind of people move out of their shell?
Yeah,
How would they move out of their shell to achieve the goals?
totally. And you can call me Shinjini. Das is my last name. Yeah.
Changing, all right.
Yes, yes. So in answer to your question, social media. My answer to all the questions now is social media. I think
Mhm.
it is just an unbelievable impact of social media, and using social media to connect to people who you would not originally have the ability to connect to, like us, like we're doing now.
Like
We
hers,
see,
yes,
yeah,
exactly,
social
yes.
media, totally, social media. So if you are in Nigeria, if you are in Uganda, you don't have the resources, you come from a poor family or whatever it is, but you
Hmm.
have data, right? You have Wi-Fi, you have access, you can connect with people, and that is the solution, whether that's to build a business or to start, some new venture. Hey, Mfundo, Zungo, South Africa. I know that's South Africa.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? And African, I'm seeing so many go-getters from Africa. You are entrepreneurial, you know? So if you can just use social media to build those connections, I just think that would be amazing.
All right. You know what? I want to ask you something. Uh, Racism is going higher in
Yes.
America right now. Let me put it
Yes.
that way.
Yes.
And racism could be a source of inferiority complex among people. So,
Yeah.
as a victim of that,
Mm.
how can I achieve my goal? Connecting myself with a co-racist or a race or institution of racism.
Yeah.
Are you, like, if I have an idea about how to help a white,
Mm.
there is racism. The
Yeah.
rate of racism is getting higher. So
Right.
how am I going to achieve this goal? How am I going to help the white man? I'm not going to be confident enough to walk up to a white man. But how
Totally.
do you think I can help out of this shell? I can move out and connect.
Totally, totally. No, that's a fantastic question and like relevant question now. You know, it's a totally relevant question, and it's something that, you know, we're really dealing with, and it's very frankly have been solved a long time ago. But I think right now, probably the best way a go-getter would approach it, right, is to build bridges, right? And to show each other that we not only are more similar than we are different, but this idea that, you know, as go-getters, we are on the same mission, you know, that we don't want to have division, you know, that we want to have unity, that we all want to come together, that we all want to go get our goals. And so we're fighting the same fight, you know, and we're not against each other, but we're with each other, you know. And so I think, and it's a great question, you know, and I think that for us, we really have to, uh, we have to be the change, you know, and we have to build bridges because even here, you know, I'm noticing it's always the fighting, you know, fighting, fighting, fighting. But if I don't come
You know
in
what?
and say, you know
Sorry,
what,
I'm just
what?
going through a comment. The person is
Yes.
saying racism can be stopped but can be prevented. So how are we going to prevent
Yeah.
it?
Sure, sure. I think you have to have conversations, man. I think you have to talk about it. I think you have to have conversations. I think you have to be the change. You know, we can't just sit here and say that, oh, racism exists, I'm too scared. You know, we really have to actively be the change, which is why, if you notice, I have a lot of white go-getters following me, you know, because I think it's important for me to have those conversations with them, you know, that we are in the same fight, you know. And frankly, racism doesn't benefit anyone, you know. No one should be happy winning with privilege that beats out someone else, you know what I mean? Like, we should all win together, not you go down, I win, you stay down. No, you know. So I think we have to have those conversations. We have to talk about it. We have to explicitly reach out, make the move. You know, it's a long fight, but you see, I do it all the time on social media, on Twitter, because that's my platform. You know, your platform could be your school. Your
Mhm,
platform as a go-getter could be your university. Your
mhm,
platform as a go-getter could be your home, right?
mhm,
But
mhm.
it's up to us to have those conversations, you know. And even in our families, you know, it's like sexism, racism. I mean, we all are dealing with a lot of stuff, right? So
Nepotism,
you have
nepotism.
to talk about it, and you have to be the change. That's
Exactly.
my solution.
We must be the change.
Yes.
We
Yes.
must. As if we can be the change. We must, we can, and we must, and we will be the change.
Absolutely. Well, and I mean, you see this. I mean, you guys are in Nigeria, right? I mean, it's a exploding youth population. Just as for me, I'm from India originally, exploding youth population. So we absolutely are the change. You know, that's not even a like a opinion. That's a fact. You know, because we
Yes.
are so much younger. Like just what you and I are doing right now. Like, it's
Mhm.
unbelievable. You know, two different
Exactly.
countries, two different
Exactly.
continents, two different
Yeah.
races, two different genders, but we're talking, you know, and I think that's the solution.
You
Yeah.
know, okay, you've talked about how to get funds. It's by
Yeah.
talking to people, it's about
Yes.
connecting to people. Who are those that have you connected to that has been helping your movement?
Yes.
Because I'm calling your brand, I'm calling it a movement. It's
Yes.
not just to the world, it's not to US, not to America, not to India alone, it's to the world.
Yes.
Everyone, there is go-getter in every country.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes. Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
so
And also, yeah, and the emphasis is on making the first move to go get your goals. It's not just about waiting, because I'm noticing a lot of people all over the world just waiting, just waiting for it to all work out, just waiting for the goals to come to you. And it's like I'm here saying, make the first move. I'm saying pick up the phone. I'm saying what you did. You DM me, you said, can we go live? Can we do that's a go-getter, right? So someone else
exactly.
who's just waiting, waiting for things to happen, that's not a go-getter. And so you're right. And honestly, dude, the answer to your question is you guys. It's the audience. And for so long I feel like I was struggling to find the right audience, because you have to be a certain type of person to relate to my content. And so I think finding those people was very hard, but
Mhm.
now I feel like I've found those people. So I think you guys have
Exactly.
really helped me on social media. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yes. So you've told us to connect to people.
Yes,
Like boundary is never a barrier.
yes,
Distance is not a barrier. We can connect
true.
like we both connected right now
Yes,
from Nigeria to America. So, but there
yes,
are several killings in my country and everywhere in the world. It's not my country that is facing this same challenge. It's
yes,
everywhere. There are several killings from terrorists, from people, from diseases, from all that. Do you know that this is a situation of our society?
yes,
So
yes.
this situation of our society has actually gave us this kind of fear. It has
Fear.
given a lot of people fear. Like you
Yeah,
don't know what's next to
yeah,
happen the next
yeah,
minute. You don't know what's going to happen in the next 30 minutes, the next 20 minutes, in the next 1 hour. So this serves as a limitation. I see it as a limitation of achieving goals. And those things are giving us slim chances to achieve our goal.
mm,
Mhm. So now, in that kind of situation, how can a goal get a turn around that and achieve the goal? That's the point. Apart from connecting to people, apart from talking to people, how in that this thing is about mindset first. But if my mindset has been overwhelmed by fear,
mm,
I'm scared every time when I see my brother that I suppose or ought to have talking to, I will be scared.
mm.
Like I was very scared, like because this same brother can pull out a gun on me or bring out a knife and kill me. So how do I overcome this fear?
Fear. How do you overcome
Yeah,
fear? Yeah.
fear.
I think that as a go-getter, I am very spiritually connected, so I'm always connecting, whether you call it God or you call it some other force, but I'm always connected to that force. So I don't feel fear,
Hmm.
because I know that the path that I'm on, what I'm working on, where I'm walking, that's God's path for me. And so when I'm walking that path, whatever, you're starting a business, you're going to college, you are trying to start school again, whatever your situation is, as a go-getter, you're going and getting your goals. I think that the number one thing for me is there should not be fear, because you're so connected to God, you're so connected to your spiritual being, like upstairs, that connection, that you are just flowing, and you're flowing with positive energy, you're flowing with excitement, because I think the minute you have fear is a game over. I think it's game over,
Exactly. But
so for me,
fear.
it's true, and that's that. I think maybe that can be a quote, is fear, right, is totally game over, right? And so I think that for me, I always walk and flow with energy, you know, so it's positive energy. I'm doing what I wanted to do. I'm an industrial engineer. I am now a media company founder. So I don't have fear. I don't have fear. And I think if you have fear, it's because you're not connected to God. You know, we should be connected to God from above, you know?
From above.
From above, yes. Yes.
I just saved one of your tweets on my draft right now,
Okay.
and I'm looking at it right away. You said, "I am an immigrant and industrial engineer who
Yeah.
had zero connections to the media.
Yeah.
I started a motivational media content company at 24."
Yeah.
That's your intellectual capacity, property, as you've
Yeah.
written it.
Yes.
How do you come about it without having connections to
Yeah.
media? Now, how do you start it up? How do you get the awareness of the media?
Yeah.
How did you get them, and how did you arrange your targeted audiences?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really hard, man. I mean, you know this in your country, in America, where I'm from, in India, it's always the connections, right? Like you can only get into a politics or media if you have connections, right? And if you have a family and rich family and your mom and your dad and your this and your grandfather, right? And so how does a normal person come up? You know, it's really hard, you know, it's really, really hard. And so for me, what happened was, again, dude, Twitter is my god, you know. Twitter is my, just, I'm so thankful, because what happened was I started tweeting in 2015, so this is 5 years ago. And I was discovered by a media publicist, right? So a publicist handles media relations, right? Television, et cetera, et cetera. She found me, and she is a white woman, Caucasian woman, you know, and she found me and she said, "You got to be on TV." And I said, "Oh my God, that's crazy," you know. So I really have to give her so much gratitude, you know, because without her, I would not have even started on television. So she found me on Twitter. I started on television because now I had her as my publicist, and that's what started everything, you know. So I was going on these television sets, you know, and I was meeting these anchors, you know. A lot of the anchors, you know, are women, even in Nigeria, right? Like very beautiful women, strong women, powerful women. But I was noticing that a lot of them don't write their own content, you know. So what they say, you know, on television, women, they're not really writing that, you know. And so that's when I realized that men are writing the content, you know. And that's when I realized that I think there's an opportunity for women to write the content, to speak the content, and to be the face, you know, and to be the brand. And so that's when I said maybe it's something I should do, because I don't think I was ever interested in being an anchor, like a, you know, on a television like that. But I said maybe this is an opportunity for me to start a media company and have a woman be in the middle, in the center, you know. So that's what started everything. So the answer is Twitter, which is social media, and the answer is this media publicist. So she really helped me. Yeah. Yeah. You
Social
can't
media.
do it alone. You can't do it alone. But I will say this, if I hadn't made the first move in starting to tweet, she would not have found me. You know,
Exactly.
you see. So I can't just sit here and just wait that one day something will happen, because I'm seeing a lot of that, and not just Nigeria. I'm seeing that from India. I'm seeing also that the people are just like, okay, I'll just wait here, just waiting. But the waiting, the problem is that, you know, energy is, they have to be moving this way, and then we meet, right? I can't just be here and then expect somebody to come to me. You see,
Exactly. Exactly.
you see what I'm saying? So it has to be both,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And thank God for
Yeah,
social media. Thank God for social media.
yeah.
Thank God for that.
Oh,
So
I mean, I would not be here without social media. Here's the thing. I think I probably would have made it anyway, but it would have been harder, you know, because with social media, you have so many people in one place, you know. And if it is something like you have to do, you know, flyers and paper and posters, it's too complicated, you know, to do that. So yeah, so I'm very thankful to social media, and I also see, you know, people getting a lot of help online. You know, they have the mental health problem, they have any other problem, they're getting real solutions online. So I don't think it's just like a waste of time, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Oh,
yeah,
you also said something on your Twitter because I'm
yeah.
focusing on time now. You said again that what like the current state of the world
Mm.
will not stop go-getter, should not
Yeah,
stop go-getter.
totally, totally,
Do you know
100%.
that there is economic recession
Yes,
everywhere in the world? Every country is battling with economy.
yes,
Everybody's battling with employment, like job employment.
yes,
Everyone is battling with health issues
yes,
for this coronavirus pandemic. We
yes.
have a lot of companies, a lot of countries that are helping people with palliatives, giving things to people. So do you think people that don't that has lost their job, people that doesn't have money, people that are not working can still achieve goal?
Totally. 100%. 100%. I think you have to get creative. I think you have to get creative, right? So if you were fired, if you lost your job, you know, what can you do? I mean, is there a way that you can tutor online? You can teach something online. You can make money. You can, you know, what can you do? I think you have to get creative, and that's something that I'm seeing is a little bit of a problem, you know, sometimes in some countries, because people are getting lazy. You know, they don't want to work so hard, and they don't want to try so much, you know, because it's hard. You know, I get it. You lost your job, the economy is in a mess, the world is in a mess. I know it's hard, but I'm also saying that you always have to use your brain. That what else can I do? You know, because right now, let me tell you this, the businesses that are on the up are e-commerce businesses, right? Digital businesses. So if I
Mm-hmm.
were you, you know, and you lost your job and everything sucks, I would ask myself that, is there an opportunity for me to start a business now? Right? Is there an opportunity for me to start my dream digital business? You know, I think the missing is the thinking, because
Hmm.
everybody's like, I have a job, it's great, oh, I got fired, oh, everything sucks, it's over. No, it's not over. It's just the next step, you know, and you have to think about the next step, and where do I go, and what do I do? So it requires some thought, it requires some analysis, you know, and it's not magical, obviously, but I'm telling you, man, there are people making the most amount of money that they've ever made during this pandemic, because they decided to start a digital business, or they
Mm-hmm.
decided to get really creative with what they offer and sell. A lot of it is entrepreneurship. I will say that a lot of it is entrepreneurship. And you know this, I mean, for people like us, you know, Black go-getters, people of color, for us, entrepreneurship is freedom. We are the
Hmm.
boss. In very
Hmm.
few career capacities, we are the boss, right? And so I am very attracted to entrepreneurship for that reason.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's that's good. You know, was it yesterday you posted something about digital business that I said you said who's interested in digital business? I said
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
so I
yes,
also said let's introduce a go-getter in digital business. How
yeah,
can some person involve or start a digital
yeah.
business?
Totally, totally. So the biggest thing is you have to have a mission, right? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, what, not even what you're trying to sell, but what are you trying to um, achieve? You know, what is your value? You know, what do you give? So for me, I'm selling motivation, right? And the
Hmm.
platform is selling motivation, right? And so if I were you and I wanted to start a digital business, I would really ask myself, what do I want to do? You know, what is my value? You know, am I a really good artist? Okay, am I a really good graphic designer? You know, am I a really good painter? You know, can I paint online? You know, so the first question is value. You know, so what value are you offering? You know, for me, the value is motivation. That's the value, you know. And then the next step then becomes, okay, well, can I sell that? So like if you're a painter, can you sell your paintings online? You know, if you're a designer, can you sell your designs online? You know, and then the third question becomes, you need your target audience, right? Like, who is going to buy your stuff? You know, and
Mm-hmm.
that for me was a really big struggle, man, you know, because I have a huge international following, but sometimes they don't have money, you know, and so they like me, but probably they can't buy anything. So then my customers have to come from somewhere else, you know, and I'm selling consultations now. We're selling my memoir at 26, which is called Unapologetically Shinjini, which I can send to you for free because we're doing this.
Oh,
And yeah, it's about how I became a go-getter. It's about how I
so you're
became
gonna
a
send it for
go-getter.
me for free?
What?
Are you sending it to me for free?
I will after this. Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
I'll be
It's an
very,
ebook. It's an ebook, right?
I'll do
Um,
it. I'll down. All right.
thank you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Of course, of course. No, because I want you to read it, you know, and I don't want a lack of money to be a barrier, you know.
Hmm.
So I think when you start a digital business, you have to know who your target audience is. But mine is a little complicated because so much of my audience is international, but sometimes they don't have money, right? And so how do you make a business from that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so sometimes it's complicated. I know for here some of my friends in America, their business is only in America, right? So everything they sell online, the customers are in America, you know, so that makes it a little bit easier. I
Mm-hmm.
think, right, because you're not having to, you know, go back and forth. But I'm grateful, you know, because you guys are just frankly, you guys are who I'm trying to reach. You know, everything, South Africa, India, Pakistan, Malaysia, you know, because being a go-getter, sometimes, you know, who needs to hear the message the most is underprivileged, you know? It's the truth. It's the truth. So I'm very grateful for your attention.
I'm very grateful as well for granting us the permission to interview you. We're
Yeah,
trying to get a lot of people that do this kind of content, but at least you're the first or second, you're the second person giving us this kind of opportunity, and we
yes,
really value it so much. We are really grateful.
totally.
We would like this
Totally.
kind of mutual conversation, if it's going to be every month or probably every week, so that you can enlighten people. I want us to target young people, from people from secondary schools, from high schools, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like we have a kind of a time whereby you can talk to them, you can talk to like 20 people, 20 students,
yes, yes,
yeah, and do this live conversation with
yes,
them.
yes,
Probably when the school resumes, the schools are yet to resume in Nigeria
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
So when they resume, are you promising us you're going to have a kind of live conversation to enlighten them?
Yeah, I'm open to it. I think it just depends on my schedule. You know, it depends on my schedule. But right now, you know, these live, it's like everybody's doing that. You know, everybody's doing that, and
Yeah.
you know, right now with everything going on, I think it's awesome, and I think it just depends on my schedule. You know, I think that in general, from now on, I want to keep things during the week. So if you guys have schedules open during the week, like Monday through Friday, that would be awesome, because right now everything is getting so big and like my audience is growing so much that everybody wants to talk. Can we talk on Sunday? Can we talk on Saturday? And so then I'm
Wow.
working all the time, so that's the only thing, that if we can make it during the week, so like 5
Mm.
p.m. Wednesday or something, I think that would be a lot
All
better.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
Wednesday,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Deal.
during the
Thank you.
week. Yeah, during the week. But totally, and I fully agree with you, because you also commented on my post and you said Nigerian girls, sometimes they need help,
Exactly.
becoming
Let's talk
go-getter.
about Nigerian girls and boys now. Let's talk about Nigerian
Yeah,
girls.
yeah,
Most Nigerian girls have lost their focus, they've lost their goals because they now depend on men.
yeah.
They depend to finance their life.
Mm,
They depend on boys, they depend on girls. Most of them don't really value going to education.
yeah,
We still have a rate of educated girls. And even the educated girls, they still end up depending on their husband, or depending
Yeah.
on their brother, or
Right.
depending on their boyfriend,
Right.
who's there to find a way. So depending on someone or anybody, it's a means of limitation to that kind of person as
Totally.
well.
Totally. Totally.
So if you're depending on a person, you serve as a distraction,
Yes.
serve as a disturbance to her. So now, how can you help or advise Nigerian girls not to depend solely on their
Yeah.
brother or their boyfriend or on a man? Let's put it that way, on man.
Totally, totally. And look, I mean, the India, Nigeria has similar issues, so I'm very familiar with this issue. I think honestly, we have to tell girls and young women that financial independence is absolutely critical, because money becomes the root, and then that leads to freedom in all other parts of your life. And so I think, we have to really empower them with that mindset and say that, you know what? It's important that you become financially independent, right? But then, and this is my thing that I hear this all the time, because they're asking that, now what do I do? I'm maybe poor, I'm poor family, school, what do I do? How do I get my goals? So there, I think we have to encourage probably entrepreneurship. I mean, honestly, I think in a lot of developing countries, the situation, the architecture is to work without abuse, so which is why I'm a big fan of women's entrepreneurship, so encouraging Nigerian women and girls to start digital businesses, so maybe they just have the laptop and they have the Wi-Fi and they have the data, and now they're able to sell digital products, they're able to build, ecosystems. The thing is, and I'll say this also, especially in Nigeria, but even other African countries, there is a large cross section of people who are actually doing very well. And I
Exactly.
see those people following me as well. So they are a little bit higher up in those countries. And then there's a lot of people who are at the bottom, and
Mm-hmm.
India is like that too, that there are some people, not even rich, but they are very successful. They are doing
Exactly.
very well. They have their own businesses. They have this. And then there's so many people that they are just in poverty, so
Mm-hmm.
I think my personal mission of my media company is to just level the gap, because here's the thing: if you made your own business, you did it, you're awesome. I just also want the same opportunity for her. That's all.
Mm.
So I am working on that. I think the first step that I'm actively working on right now via social media is the mindset, with the Nigerian, because I have a lot of Nigerian women following me, and I'm noticing that a lot of them, they're just negative or upset or something. So I'm really trying to work on that, because I know that work I can do from here, which is that, listen, you really need to go get your goals. You're a go-getter. You should not depend. And I'm noticing that they're really responding to that. Just the other day, a woman, she had a breakup in I think
Mm.
South Africa, and I was just telling her that, oh, you're independent, you're this. So I think the first step of the conversation is just talking, because sometimes they don't really even understand why they should be independent. You know what I mean? Like, even in India, there's so many women who think that the husband is their life. So the first conversation is that you have to be independent. The second conversation is, do you want to go to school? And so, but I think that's number two. I think number one is the mindset.
Mindset. Wow,
you know
mindset. Actually, yes, they need to work on their mindset, because the mindset of most people is they want to use expensive things, they want to live luxury life, but they don't have the money, they don't work for the money first.
yeah,
All they do is they find any means to get the materials. They are easily carried away
yeah,
by the material.
yeah,
So
yeah,
change
but
their mind.
the thing is, that's not sustainable.
Mm-hmm. It's not
I said
sustainable.
that's not sustainable, right?
Exactly.
Right, right,
Exactly. So you need to
right.
change their
Totally.
mindset from to an entrepreneur mindset. Like, instead of buying or
Yes.
consuming those products, they should find something and start
Yeah.
selling, something like that.
Totally, totally. Well, and that's why, you know, this, I'm a self-funded media company, you know, all of my
Mm-hmm.
pictures, the photo shoots, it's all so expensive. But
Exactly.
I said I will never borrow money because I don't want to borrow money because let me say this, when you borrow money, it's not yours. It's not
Mm-hmm.
yours. It's
Mm-hmm.
a loan, you know, and so you know, you should be able to sell something that you create. You know, maybe it's not the best, but you create it and now you have money from something that you made, you know, and I think that's so much better than like always borrowing money. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what? To create something is one thing,
Yeah,
but for that thing to be consumed is
yeah,
another.
totally.
And the problem we have here in our country is we solely depend on the Western world.
Yes,
We depend
yes,
on whatever the Western world produces and gives to us is what we're going to consume.
yeah.
So it's you said it's about mindset, but you know
Mm.
what? I wrote something a few weeks ago that the moment we start consuming our local products,
Yeah,
there will be reduction of job scarcity.
totally, totally, totally. And you know this, there are many sites now. I mean, I don't know how you guys obviously work in Nigeria on your own, but there are many sites that, you know, like have you heard of Etsy, Etsy.com? You can look it up. I think it's
No,
Etsy.com.
I
Okay,
haven't.
just look up Etsy. Just look up Etsy. Okay, ETSY. It's a small business site, you know, so everything you buy from there, it's like handmade, it's, you know, made by local people. So absolutely, and you made a very good point that if you are really a go-getter, you
All right.
should buy from local people. You should buy
Exactly.
from your friend's cousin, you know, who makes dresses. I 100% agree, you know. And I think
Exactly.
the mentality, even Indian mentality is like, no, but I want the American shirt. Right, but
Exactly.
the American shirt is made in a factory, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, yes, I think you said a great point. I love that point. It's something that I believe in very deeply, you know, and a lot of you know, just small jewelry, a lot of it is handmade, from women, because you're absolutely right. Like if we don't buy from them, then
Mm-hmm.
the cycle is down, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. That's a great point. It's a
All
great
right.
point.
Concerning the killing, racism, lack of fund, everything
Yeah.
still goes down to the government, if I'm right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, do you think that the government of every country, like the world,
Hmm.
do you think the governments in the world are trying their possible best to balance this?
Honestly, I don't think they care. I think that's the answer. I think the reason that you guys and even us now in America, we feel so abandoned is that a lot of the governments don't care. So I don't know how much you know, but about my work here, but I am working with the State Department. So the State Department is a function of the U.S. government, and I'm working with them on this of make entrepreneurship more accessible in developing countries, because there's just so many barriers. You have to have a money, you have to have this, you have to have that. So mostly I feel like, uh, in answer to your question, I think they should care, obviously, you know, because if you guys are not being able to make a living doing what you are doing, then everybody is failing, you know. And actually countries fail when people are to survive, you know. So I mean, do I think that government should work on it? Absolutely, right there, you know, because they're too focused on their own needs,
Exactly. Hmm.
you know.
Hmm. They
That's right, that's
care
right, because
about.
you guys, the more the yeah, and just the more happy, content, and self-sufficient you all are, the better your government will thrive. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
actually don't understand why they don't prioritize everything, economic opportunity, you know, access to capital. I mean, it's really crazy, and it is something that I'm working on. with the US government, and I'm hoping that we can also impact other countries' governments as well. Because like if the Nigerian government had grants, right,
Mm-hmm.
for women's entrepreneurship, for like, you need to make resources accessible for the people, and
People.
especially the people who are underprivileged, maybe not poor, but who are underprivileged. Like the people following me, you guys, they have data, they have Wi-Fi. It's not that they're poor, but it's that they're pretty humble, so a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them, they don't have access to opportunity, so if we can maybe work with different governments, the US government here, to make grants and everything available for women for this, I think that would be so awesome, but right now I just don't think a lot of them care. I think that's the answer. It's
Now,
sad.
all right. So let's go to physically challenged go-getters.
Okay.
Go-getters that are physically challenged, maybe no sight, maybe no hands or
Yeah.
legs.
Yeah.
That is another limitation already.
Yeah.
How can I have that confidence to come
Yeah.
out of that shell to excel and achieve their goal? How can they set them goals for themselves?
Yeah, yeah. Again, it's your mindset. One thing that if you notice, I don't emphasize like body parts or anything. I always emphasize your mindset, because the mindset is something that every human being, no matter how challenged they are, they have a mind. So I think that your mindset is the biggest thing, and it can really overcome anything. And so I think even if you are disabled, you have, like you said, maybe lack of limbs or something, or you're in poverty, you have your mindset, which is that, what, today I'm in poverty, but one day my family will not be in poverty. That's the mindset of a go-getter. That's the mindset of a go-getter,
What about,
and that's what's gonna make you win, because it's always the mindset.
in society, it's about mutual benefits. It's about mutual thing. To be successful, it's about mutual thing. It's
Yeah.
one thing that a physically challenged go-getter has a good mindset,
Yeah.
ready to achieve our goal. But
Mm.
it's another thing that the society accepts that mindset that
Yeah.
they can also achieve their goals. It's another thing that the society and the people around them accept what they're bringing up. Some people get them, some people reject them, some people don't give them chance, some people
Yeah.
don't even allow them to have a say in the society. They live outside some set of people, they were segregated for some part of people. They don't give them chance to talk, they don't give them chance to contest.
Right.
For example, in my country, if you don't have two legs, two hands, two eyes, two nose, your lips, your hair, you can't contest for any position, right? Any
Right.
political post, league. They
Mm.
won't employ companies. So they turn out to be some kind of beggars. They turn out to be kind of depending on the family for
Yeah.
funds.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be so. Shouldn't be so. But how can such person, how can society
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
physical challenge?
Yeah, totally. I think it's a shift. I think it's a national shift. I think it's a global shift. We have to recognize that everybody has some potential, and everybody has some skills, and everybody has some purpose. And yeah, maybe they don't have eyes, and they don't have legs, and they don't have anything. They're in poverty, but still they have some purpose, and that's what we have to believe, because this is a problem of the belief, of the mentality, that God made you in a position of privilege to help someone else up, not to throw them away, you know. So I think that if all of us start living like that, living with that mindset of it is my job to help someone else up, I think that is going to be a game changer, which is why, I mean, I'm always talking to women in all these different countries, because I know that I have been placed with enough privilege, not most of the privilege, but enough privilege to at least help them up, you know, and I know that it's my job to do that, you know. So I think like I'm doing that. If you can help four people and he can help four people, he can help, like that just would be amazing, you know. So I think it's a mentality shift, it's a mindset shift, you know, and it's something that we really need to work on. But I believe that we can do it. I believe that we can do it because we're go-getters.
Go get
Right?
us and mental matters.
Yes.
Exactly, our mindset, everything should be good.
Yes.
It's really been great talking to you and having this conversation with you. Honestly, I'm
Totally.
very, very happy. And you know what I want to put to you is you selling your products, your memos on Amazon's and
Yes.
Spotify, right?
Not yet. So it's only on my website, which is unapologeticallyshinjini.com. That's my book. So I can send you that link. I can DM you that link.
All right. If
Yeah.
can we have kind of with our website, can there be kind of mutual business, digital business within us?
Totally, totally, totally. And yes, there are plans of releasing, you know, more versions of my memoir, and we have a lot of plans. You know, think about what motivational products you need to help you achieve your goals, and
All
that's
right.
what we are building right now. But as you know, it takes some time, you know, to
That,
come up with all the different, you know, products and digital products. So it's taking some time. But right now, you know, that's why I'm so passionate about sharing my story, because my story is really the foundation of my media company and of all the different products that we come out with to, again, help you, to motivate you to achieve your goals.
all right. Thank you. And is there going to be kind of business between your site and us website?
Yes, yes.
Are you
Thank
promising
you.
that?
Thank you.
We talk, I appreciate your time. I really value it. And you said there's going to be kind of continuity. We start continuing this kind of conversation, like if it is monthly or weekly, we are good to go, right?
Yeah, like I said, you know, as long as I'm available and, you know, my schedule works, because I'm very, very busy right now. But, you know, the
Right.
more that you can, you know, give me some heads up or schedule in advance, you know, I can see if that'll work. But again, I'm super passionate about reaching just in African in general, right? Because I saw some also people from other countries here, school girls, boys, school like
Exactly. Right
students.
now,
Yeah.
the next is the school right now. We're going to the schools right now. So
Oh
you know
yeah, yeah,
what?
yeah,
You should just help tell your friends, your lovers who wants to learn more about your motivational speeches
yeah,
and more to come
yeah,
and visit the website, like visit empiregist.com,
yeah.
and there's gonna be a kind of, you're gonna be selling your products, putting your products on our website, so it's gonna be of mutual benefit.
Totally, totally, totally. No, thank you, and you know, I'm just really
You'll
excited.
be selling your product on your website, and we'll be selling it, so it's gonna be a mutual store. You understand? That's digital business. You
Yeah,
are helping our own digital business. We are also helping yours.
yeah. No, thank you, thank you. It means a lot.
It's going to help you reach larger people in this country, in Nigeria
Totally.
and in large.
Totally, totally. And you can just put the link, you know, on your website. But again, I'm just really excited to reach more audiences internationally and encourage everybody to be a go-getter, to make the first move, to go get
Exactly.
your goals. And no, thank you for making the time.
You know, let me promise you and tell you this, that
Yeah.
this conversation is going to come out as a news report. It will be covered and published on our website officially sooner.
Okay. Do you know when?
No, probably it will take like 2, 3, 4 days because it will be edited and it will be well written to the standard very
Yeah.
well. You know, it's gonna be take some process. It's not as if it will take long because this thing is unique. So we need to
Yeah.
bring all unique skills
Good.
to write
Good.
it,
Thank you.
to cover it, to send the link to you, and you tweet it and put
Please.
it on
Yes.
Instagram so that people will read the news.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right.
Fantastic.
We are getting people.
Fantastic. I gotta
Yeah.
run now. I gotta go. But
All
this
right.
was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.